Okay, this is a tour of the outside, the things that I figured out that work for us on our implementation of our Tiffin Wayfarer as we equipped it. You'll notice I have a Sun Pro. It's kind of like the MagnaShade, but it's a little bit less money. And I think it works just as well, goes on very nice. I put that on there to keep the sun out, but it lets light in. So at nighttime somebody could see through it, but daytime nobody could. But we have curtains on the inside for nighttime. You do see that I like these yellow cubes. If you can find them at Ace Hardware, I think, and because they'll hold banner posts, you can stick them in there on places like this that don't have grass. Somewhere in my toolkit there's a lug nut cap remover for taking those off without damaging those caps, so you might look into that. I do have the tire minder system for pressure. I have it on all 6 wheels on the Mercedes and the 4 wheels that are in the on the tow car, the Toad. In this cabinet, and everybody's configuration is different depending on the model year, but I do have a hatchet. That's what I found is the right tool implement, right size for us. I have, these are grilling tools. These are the only 2 I felt I needed. That works well. A collapsible bucket is wonderful. This is nice to have when you're kneeling down, checking to make sure your levelers came up. This is a butane stove in this box that I can pull out, and I use just these refillable canisters because I don't have propane on this unit. It's an all-electric unit. I grabbed this from an old fireplace that we had. It's a poker for fires when you decide to have a fire pit, and make sure you bring some little things for cooking marshmallows on there. I do have Molly Moppin's unit to clean the RV when you want to do it, and I have a pole that I store, a collapsible pole that I store underneath the indoors. I have a place to put that. Just if I want to take the time to wash the unit, I don't have to have a ladder. I do keep a thing of silicone. I have these 2 plastic tubs I got from Walmart that fit under here. It's for putting all my chemicals. I do keep extra Mercedes oil, Pine Sol. This is some utility rope that I have. I've found that it's good to have lithium grease with you, and also WD-40, a can of that, some glass cleaner, and some 303 for protecting the rubber gaskets on the unit. Periodically I'll put that on. I also have oil for the generator, that's mosquito stuff here. This is this Release. This is good stuff, Release Ultra, and you mix it up. This is concentrate. You mix it up and you spray it on, and the bugs just wipe right off of your unit, or tar and that. Some special just soap for cleaning. You shouldn't use dishwashing soap for washing your unit. Toilet seal, periodically you should put that on your toilet seal to lubricate it. This is a good RV toilet treatment that works well. I was mixing some stuff up from the Clean group in their formula with bath oil beads and stuff, but I just use that. Sometimes I'll use baby shampoo also for washing the car. So that's pretty much the things that I have in here in this utility box. You do need to get a diesel fueling adapter here in case you end up with especially out west, they put the wrong nozzles on the diesel fuel. So if it's too big of a nozzle, you need this to adapt to the Mercedes. At least on our unit. We keep our laundry detergent here, spray and wash. I keep a foldable table, as you'll see down there, that fits in this cabinet. That works well. I made just a piece of board with duct tape. I put this, if I'm gonna cook, I put that on top of that folding table, or on a picnic table if I'm using a picnic table to protect it. This is a wind screen made by Heichmann that you put around the stove to keep the wind out, because oftentimes it'll be too windy to grill. If you don't have that, you can't grill. So that's the only storage compartment that I have on this side of our unit. yours may be different. I do like the Ready Brake system here from NSA RV Products. It's really worked well for us. It's easy to hook up, and I use LED lights that I put on the back of the car that are radio controlled with that unit there, and it works really well. As long as you have the right adapters, I'll have more on that at some point. I have in our wet bay, I do keep a thing for the sewer line if you need to prop it up. That works well. There are these little, I hook a blue hose for the water and a one for the gray line on here, and you see I've put a valve on here that I can control them here, so I have more control over the unit than what came with the unit. And I have these little clips under there that I can clip the hoses to, just to get them out of the way when we're traveling. I use these type of hoses. I do like those hoses that are like a slinky. They just collapse all up to nothing. These collapse here, but now I've found those other hoses, and I might use those, and I have to replace them. I have a blue one for the fresh water and a gray one for the gray water. This little stool is nice. They're not real sturdy, but it's a folding step stool you can get on Amazon. This is my second one, but you can see this one's breaking also. But you just got to be gentle with it, but it's nice to sit on when you're working on the wet bay. I do use a big sewer supply here that I have. I have a 4-foot hose there, and I do like this Dump Buddy. That works well when you have units that'll accept that. And then so I keep that for sewer supplies, and I have a sewer supplies. This is the one that I keep the hose in, and I have a nozzle in case you want to spray it down the poop chute, just to clean out any piles you might have. And then also I have a fresh water container for my blue hose, and in there I have a one of these things here, Restmo gauge, that I can see how much water I'm putting in. I do use these connectors. I like these for all my hose connections, and they work well. I lubricate them once or twice a year just to be sure they move. If they start leaking, you just replace them. They're not expensive. My setup is I have a yellow hose I put on here that feeds this pressure regulator. I don't usually run more than 40 pounds because otherwise you'll start messing with the seals, the hoses in the RV. And then I have a split and I've labeled them with a label maker. Definitely label everything. I have label makers for everything. And I put a water filter on there. You don't normally hook the water up. We just fill the tank and run off the water pump, because I don't want to have a risk of having a water line burst. We've already had that once, where the seals weren't good, and I had to tighten all the PEX seals, and that was kind of annoying. So that's my water setup. And then as I'll take a tennis ball like this, and I'll take it and I'll cut a slit in it like that and put it on there, just so I don't bang my head on that. On our unit, that's how it works. And then down here we have the generator up there, but in here I have another storage cabinet that goes back there. It's pretty big, and it's kind of empty right now, to tell you the truth, but make sure you have an extra, our standard cord I think is 25 feet. It came with ours. I have another 15-footer in here, extension cord, and then I have the adapter for the 4-prong and the adapter for 110 volt if you run where that's all you have availability to. And in here, just some other a toolkit. I have a nice toolkit which I can give you some more information on toolkits. I did have a 30 amp power watchdog installed here, so ours is just set up. I don't have the external one, something to carry with. This just works automatically. Oh, this one is outfitted with the Dirt Devil vac, which is a nice setup here. In any case, outside here I have a thermometer it's called AccuRite, and I have one here, and it feeds the unit inside that just sits on the counter. And there's also one in the wet bay, so I can keep track of the temperature in the wet bay if you get into cold areas. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. For the outside, I can show you some more things on the inside, but that is how Tiffin sets their unit up, and how I configured our unit for us. We do have a number of things that we store in the car, which I'll do a separate video on.